Hey YouTube. So I want to let you guys know I've been kind of busy. I have my fingers in a lot of pies right now, and they're all kind of related one to the other. And I'm really enjoying this Amazon review process I'm going through, because I wanted a way to be able to have my YouTube subs come in and say, you know, what are you eating? What are you drinking? What do you use on your skin? What kind of clothing do you wear? People are very curious about kind of my inventory of what I purchase. And I can see why, because, you know, a lot of this stuff works in tandem. You know, it's not any big stretch that if a carnivore eater is got a real focus on a high level of nutrition and nutrient dense products to eat, that they might also be interested in natural fibers or products to clean the house or put on their body that are non-toxic. And toward that end, I have this carnivore gal I follow. I might not follow her now because I've just kind of culled my list. If I'm not watching somebody at least once a week, I just took them off the list because I'm like, okay, they're not entertaining enough for me to subscribe to anymore. Anyway, I was following this gal. I like her a lot, and she's a long-term carnivore, but her YouTube channel posts pain me to watch. They're very stilted and they don't come off conversationally like I like. I like a person that just, they're like I'm sitting down with them for coffee and we're just talking. I like that kind of presentation, that kind of rapid fire sort of, I'm looking for your interaction. I want to talk to you. I want to hear what you have to say. And if I don't get that vibe from the person, they're gone. So she's gone. But before she was gone, she brought to my attention this really cool app. You guys have to get it right away. Maybe if I'm not a flake, I'll put it down below in my my more section, right? And it's called the Yuka app, and it has a little carrot as its iconic image. And what I like about that is it's got a scan method, and when you're in the store, you just scan the product you think you want to buy, that you're deliberating about buying, and it tells you what its numerical toxicity score is. The higher the better. So 0 means, oh my gosh, hazard waste. Don't put it on your body. Hazard cleanup, right? And 100 means that it's like you could eat it practically. It's so clean. So I'm starting to buy all my products that I put on my body and prioritize them with that being first, and what they need to do, their function second. So for instance, deodorant's an interesting thing right there. I was like, okay, I love this brand called Hello. I'm going to get their deodorant. It's called Unicorn. And it's rainbow. It was so me. And it was like an excellent at the toxicity score. But guess what, guys? It didn't work to help me with BO, okay? I still smelled kind of funky. And I was like, no. I care how cool your packaging is, what your toxicity score is, or what the name of the flavor is. It was all so great, and then I tried it, and it was bad, and it didn't work. So I had to go back to the Crystal. And Crystal is a brand that uses a salt cube, and they shove it into like a container, and you wet it and you put it on your armpits, and that works okay for me. I smell better than I used to. This is real gross, but you guys are human beings. You know what it is. I mean, Hubs has this thing where he used to talk about when I'd nurse the babies and they'd get famunda cheese. If there was any little bit of breast milk that was thrown about somewhere and it got in one of their rolls, because they were sumo wrestlers when they were under a year. Oh my gosh, it'd get funky in a hurry. And you had to take a hot rag. We kept some in crock pots, clean ones. And we'd take those, and I'd get in between all their rolls in between bath time, because otherwise they'd get funk. So he called it famunda cheese. From under. Super gross. Take that to the bank, right? Anyways. And so that's the way it is with human beings. If you've got a roll or a crevice on your body and you're not fastidious about getting it clean, you're going to have a famunda cheese, okay? So anyhow, or, this is a very interesting point. Say you are fastidious, and say you just have junk there anyways. Why? Just because you're a person, right, I guess? You know, like they say, wash behind your ears, between your toes, and your crotch, and your pits, and all that, because those are areas that like to harbor famunda cheese, okay? This is so gross to talk about. It's funny, I have to laugh now. Anyhow, I began eating carnivore. And that's one of the first things I noticed, is that any of that stuff was all gone. All of it was gone. Even a little bit. And I take showers, guys. I take showers. I'm super religious about it. Like, I think I miss a shower once a week or something. I get after stuff in the shower. That's my main grooming thing. Like, I say this on other videos too. 90% of my work to look good and feel confident and feel clean and feel pretty is in the shower. That's where I soap up, scrub, shave, get after my feet. I use a back brush on my feet. I don't move around, okay? And so when I say everybody's got Famunda cheese, everybody's got it to some degree. Well, guess what? When you're zero carb, you don't. You don't have a bit of it. You don't have that junk that stinks behind your ears. You don't have it. You smell different. Try going to the bathroom and see how that smells. I know this is super gross, guys. I'm probably going to get some thumbs down on this, but I don't care. I'm just saying it how it really is. Anyway, on a personal level, as clean as I am, I smell even cleaner. I can go and not have BO for an entire day. I can just be a normal person and sit around and do my normal routine and all my stuff. And at the end of the day, I smell like I had showered. Like I didn't have to, usually I was just like, okay, I got to shower because I don't want that funk coming on. I didn't want to smell at all. I like that fresh smell, like feeling smooth. I didn't want any junk in any of the crevices. I was like, I got to do this. It's almost like I could feel it, like you could feel like carpet on your teeth if you didn't brush your teeth. I felt like that way about my body too. I was like, I don't like that. I want to have that smooth, really clean sensation all over my body. Anyway, so carnivores, they don't have it. Chime in if you're zero carb and if you've noticed that change yourself. It's subtle, but it also tells you something. It's like, if you're eating foods that aren't right for you, or they're not the proper nutrition, or you're not eating enough of the proper nutrition, or you're eating things that are processed, there is going to be some off-gassing and some toxicity offload on your body. And it's going to be in the form of, I don't even know where to put it, Famunda cheese, dandruff, smell, just an overall feeling of not feeling like your skin is smooth and clean or whatever. And I think that's worth noting, is that your body's its topography is just cleaner and nicer. There's not foreign stuff on it. It's not gross. You don't smell as much. I mean, I'm sure there's carnivores that have noticed this, but they just haven't had the guts to come out and say, I wasn't bad before, but now I'm better. And it's because our human body is getting the proper nutrition. And so any of that funk is going to be either you can't find it, see it, or smell it, or it's going to be so negligible you can't notice it. So that's a positive, I think. It just makes a person feel way more confident about everything. You're like, wow, I really know that I smell, look, and I'm touching clean. I like that. Anyway, subscribe, even though I'm gross and I bring up gross topics. And smash the like button on this video, guys, because I'm unafraid to say anything clearly. Hey, YouTube. It's the cheating carnivore, Tamara Blodgett. You can see, guys, I'm still alternate day fasting. And tomorrow's going to be the test of truth, because I did one day dirty fasting where I explained to you guys that basically when I fast, I'm looking at not moving the insulin needle at all, and the body doesn't have to use that hormone to regulate any kind of carbohydrate or sugar or eating or anything I might be doing. So given that, I did cream on my last fasting day, and of course I get through the day with a little bit of cream much better than I do with black coffee, and I'll tell you why. Like I wouldn't. One is it tastes better. Just period. It does. I'm enough of a coffee addict that I'll have it black rather than not have it, but I do prefer it with cream greatly. And then two, because I'm fat burning, the cream acts as a fuel source, and so it gives me a tiny bit of fuel. Certainly not what I would need for the day, but enough to kind of get by until I don't even experience hunger of any kind until late afternoon, early evening. And by that time, I'm gearing down for bed, because usually I'm in bed by 8 and I'm asleep well before 9:30 or 10. I'm an early riser, and so that works out well for me. I tried it last time and I did go down in weight, and you can see my skin is greatly improved. I haven't done my Sunday video to show how quickly it improved, but without the Swiss Chris in my diet, omitting that from my diet, I am doing so much better. My ears are pretty stupid still. They're leaking and they're crusty and they're dumb, but they're better, and so much better that it's noticeable. My skin, which was usually free of eczema, had been becoming riddled with eczema. But then I went ahead and got rid of the Swiss Chris and implemented another thing, which I want to talk about. So I knew that once I got rid of Swiss Chris that my irregularity problem might rear its head. Well, first thing I did was I started this old wives' tale. One of my girlfriends, her mom, who's a hard case, like I am, with irregularity, but for different reasons, had tried this baking soda and hot water thing. And after talking to Hubs, I realized it wasn't anything that's going to hurt my system. So I implemented it immediately. And then on day 4, I had a nice clean out. And I was like, okay, there's something to this. However, I did try, I re-implemented my magnesium citrate, 2 tablets of vitamin D a day. I did kind of a mix-up. And I don't know which part worked, but I'm really suspicious of the baking soda and the hot water. So I can just feel a whole different internal system working right now, as far as like movement and just feeling like things are kind of percolating along. Now, I told you guys at one point that I thought that a couple times a week would be normal for me. I know that the bill of goods we've been sold is that we have to go poop every single day. I don't feel that's true. I feel if you're eating something that's nutrient dense, your body uses more of it and then therefore has less waste. And that's just 2 + 2 = 4, guys. That's logic talking, okay? So I'm waiting to see. It's been a couple of days. I'm waiting to see if I have something, a deposit in the commode again. I'm sure there's some people that are watching this going, oh my God, you'll talk about anything. But you know what? Pooping's very important. And getting a regimen down in which a person is more or less regular is super important. And even though my Hashimoto's is most likely in remission because of the way I've been eating, it's going to take a retrain of the body. I'm no longer irritating it with carbohydrates and excessive fiber, because all that did was kind of cause a traffic jam in my system, you guys. Okay? It didn't actually assist me in pooping. It would make me all messed up. In fact, if I go off the rails and have a lot of carbohydrate or fiber, instantly I'm totally irregular after that. So that doesn't work. And it's proof, how many carnivores and zero carb eaters are experiencing great regularity for the first time. But hard cases like myself need to figure out a way to make it all work. And so far I haven't, but that was a positive direction for me. The pooping, I like that positive direction. But I don't know which part or all of them worked, but I'm really suspicious about the baking soda and hot water. Also, I guess fresh lemon doesn't break a fast, and I might be able to go ahead and incorporate that too with the baking soda and the hot water. And next time I go to Costco, I'll just get a big bag of lemons and I'll incorporate that, because even though that's an acidic, it translates into your system as an alkaline. And that seems to bolster having all your gears kind of working with more fluidity and everything. So I like that a lot. I was like, okay, that might work. So that's just a little tiny update about my regularity and my skin. Now, Sunday's gonna be the thing. Today I had my alarm go off that said on my phone, it said 1 week without Swiss Chris. And so in 1 week, can I definitively say that without it in my diet at all, has my skin improved? Definitively it has. You can just tell. It doesn't have that chaffed, angry, red look anymore. And I'm going to see where the eczema goes, but eczema is pretty virulent, and so I think I might need like a whole month without the offender in my diet before I get true relief and a complete turnaround from that. So I'm excited about the potential. Now, I did kind of have a little cheat yesterday. There's big cheats and little cheats, there's keto cheats, there's all kinds of little things like that. I didn't really cheat very much. I had a little ranch dressing and pork rinds, which isn't actually cheating. But I'm not one for the snack things, and I'm not one to have a huge amount of dairy. So it was a little bit outlierish for me. But I did have a little bit of the keto cluster, which I told you guys I would never have again, but I didn't have very much. And then I had a little bit of, oh yeah, I had a little bit of Rebel ice cream too. But again, those are not technical keto or ketovore cheats. Those are sort of on the edge, but for me, they kind of are. So I want to be transparent. And I didn't notice too much of a problem today. Of course, I went right into fasting. But I noticed that I felt pretty good today. So I'm thinking that those things, when I have just a little bit, once in a while, like every couple of weeks, I'm okay. What I did was I frontlined the whole thing, which I'm thinking is a big deal, with a steak. I had my strict carnivore food first and let that settle, and then I had what I felt I could eat without feeling gross afterward. And I put the absolute worst type of the whole bargain at the very end, because I wanted to really make sure that I got the proper nutrition first, and any kind of super low carbohydrate or non-carnivore food would be at the end, like a finale. And I had my watch party day with the girls, and that's what that was about, because I like to be part of the scene socially. And I'm just doing a Jason Fung, the premier authority on intermittent fasting. And he says, make the memories, have the holiday, do what you will, but then remember that you have to counteract that with a fast. If you want to help your body or maintain your weight or continue to lose weight. And he's right. But I'm doing something I haven't done before, and what I'm doing is I'm being real careful with what I'm eating on feed days. But I'm having a lot of food. I had, I think, 3 or 4 cups of coffee with whipped cream, and whipped cream on top, but not the full sugar one, because that seems to wreck me. So I didn't have that, and I still have not had any diet pops, and that's been going on, let me see, about 43 days now. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Smash the like button. I am getting subscribers now that I switched over to this shorter format. And Tina, just a little shout out for her, said, hey, I think I like the more frequent uploads. And I was like, okay. I don't know if they're as conveyance of information as the longer ones, but they're still good, Smash that like button and subscribe. I'm also doing some stuff on Amazon that's very exciting that I'll share in a later video. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much for your subscriptions and your attention.